Hi guys, it's Rhonda and I'm back with another Disney video. Today I wanted to talk just briefly about the Disney Studios in Burbank. So I had been wanting to go to the Disney Studios for a while, and I had saw like a small documentary. It wasn't on Disney Channel, but I saw a small documentary about the studio. And I thought, man, I would love to go visit. So I was able to go visit the studios. Now, what I wanted, strictly what I wanted, was 15 minutes, 20 minutes tops to go in and visit the Partners statue, which is there at the Disneyland hub. And it's of Mickey and Walt. And I just really wanted to go and pay homage to this, to see the statue and get my picture taken with it and kind of just see it up close. Because when you're at Disneyland, it's up on a platform and it's surrounded by a small fence and it has greenery and flowers, and it's really beautiful, and it's there in front of the castle. And so you can get your picture taken in front of the partner statue there at Disneyland. But I had seen this documentary and I was like, I want to get just a little closer. So this partner statue is actually on the grounds there in the Legends, the Plaza, and it's up on like 2 or 3 steps, but there's no fence around it and it's easily accessible. And then there's like all of the legends with their kind of like the Hollywood Walk of Fame, but they have their handprints and their names are there on plaques. It's really awesome to look at all the names of just all the people who have worked in the Walt Disney Company. Now, these aren't just the movie stars and the people whose faces that we're used to seeing. These are the stagehands. These are the executives, the people who actually work behind the scenes. And it was just really cool to be able to see all of that. And then of course Roy and his statue with Minnie Mouse is there, so I got to see that as well. But I wanted to give sort of a backstory on why and how I was able to go to the Disney Studios in Burbank. Now, it's closed off to the public. You have to be invited, or you have to be part of like the D23 membership, where they do special events like film screenings, or film screenings, and then like speakers that are there that you can participate in seasonally. So there are certain ways to get in, but you either have to be a member in some way with a fee. There's a nominal fee to get in, or you have to know someone. So luckily I was able to get in because of our contact, the people that we knew. So Robert and Lewis took me on a quick tour. Well, actually it was Lewis who took us on a quick tour in the beginning. And, again, I just wanted 20 minutes to get in there and have my picture taken, but he met us down at the main building where you walk in, ABC Studios. It shows there on the receptionist's area. And then there's just tons of poster art and animations and little models of the studio. And so he met us there and he said, I want to take you around this building really quick. And I was like, oh, okay, because I thought we were just going to head on over to the partner statue. So we went through the building a little bit. He showed me particular parts that were, part of his little tour. And then he took me around the back of the building and asked me some trivia questions, which was fun. And then he said, we're going to go to the partner statue, but first we're going to go have lunch at the Buena Vista Cafe. Well, needless to say, I got emotional and I said, you mean we're going to go have lunch here at the studio? And he said, yes. And I got all emotional and I kind of got embarrassed. And I said, "You mean I get to have some of Walt's chili?" And he's like, "Yeah, if that's what you want." I'm like, "Oh my goodness." So I said, "I'm sorry. I won't cry again. It took me by, took me by surprise." And he's like, "It's okay. It's okay." So then we left there and walked towards the Hyperion building, and we walked over to get to the area, the lot where the cafeteria is. And I'm telling you, on the way there, I saw all of the key spots that I really wished I could have seen if I had an official tour. And I didn't realize that these places, these things that I saw on this documentary were going to be along the path. And I saw the street sign and the fire hydrant and Pluto's footprints, and we were there taking pictures, and I hadn't even gone to the cafeteria yet, but there's just so much to see. And I was standing there looking at everything, and there was this, this pole here, this street sign, and there were two squirrels. They weren't chipmunks, but they were squirrels, and they were darting all over because it's just beautiful. There's greenery. It's like Disneyland, where the ducks and the birds and the cats, and I'm sure there's rats, rodents that are there on the park. But it was nature, they're there playing on the grass. And they were darting around and climbing up the tree, and I just stopped and looked at them, and I thought to myself, this is like Chip 'n Dale. Like, this is so cute, like animation come to life. And they were just running around, and I thought, I'm really here, And then we walked down the little street, and there was the Buena Vista Cafe sign, and we got in the front door, and then there was this sign for Walt Disney's chili. And I said, oh my gosh, I'm actually going to get to eat some Walt Disney chili. So I got my food and sat down and just ate my food and thought to myself, wow, this is how can I say? I was having a moment. I was having a moment. I was extremely present and realizing that what I had seen on the documentary and what I had dreamed in my heart was actually coming true. And I was thinking, I'm going to get to see the partner statue and all of those fun things, and the dwarves holding up the roof of the corporate offices. And I thought, this is a good day. And the weather was beautiful. The weather was perfect. Because it can get hot in Burbank, but it was beautiful. It was probably 80 degrees and clear skies, and I was just feeling really grateful in the moment. So I ate my Walt's chili. It was delicious. And then we left from there and then walked kind of around, because the partner statue is more to the left, and we walked to the right. Now, I didn't know this at the time. And then Louis took me around to the animation building. And I thought, okay, so we're headed to the partner statue. I don't know where it's at, right? It's like, okay, we have to go this way to go to the partner statue. No, we don't. We could have just like popped over there. But we go to the animation building. And I remember Walt. There's a picture of Walt with a car. And he's by the animation building. And I'm thinking, like, yeah, I'm having another moment, and I'm like, wow. So I took some pictures, and then I asked if I could have my picture taken in front of the animation building, and we did. And then he said, I'm leaving you here. I have to go back to work, Louis said. And I said, okay. And then my heart kind of sunk a little bit, because I thought, wow, you know, I guess I can't go see the partner statue because maybe, I don't know, there's something going on, or he has to go back. We didn't have enough time and whatever. And I was like, okay. And then I thought to myself, but I got to eat at the cafeteria. I got to eat Walt's famous chili. I got to see the squirrels, Chip and Dale, playing by the street sign, and I got to see the animation building and take my picture, and I was so grateful. And I said, okay, I said, well, thank you so much. And he said, well, you know, your day doesn't end here. He said, I have a lot of work to do. My lunch hour is over, and Robert is going to take you to go see the partner statue. Well, then I was like, oh, I got all excited. But here's the kicker is, he said, Robert knows his way around, and you have a badge, because we got a badge upon entering the studios, with our pictures on it, which I thought was so cool. I still have. And I was like, okay. And he goes, and you're authorized, you have access because you're my guest, and you can go and take your time and go wherever you want on the back lot and take a look at the buildings, the outbuildings, the sound stages, anything you want. And it's at your leisure, and you can enjoy the day. Well, needless to say, I broke down in tears. I was like, you have got to be kidding me. And I feel like he basically, like, I had won the golden ticket. And I said, I cannot thank you enough. I feel so overwhelmed right now. And he said, well, you have a good time. And he hugged me and went off to his office there and went back to work. And Robert became my tour guide, and we just walked all around the studio. I saw the Julie Andrews Soundstage, Annette Funicello. They had a lot of buzz was going on. There were golf carts going with people trying to make it to wherever they needed to go on the lot quickly. There were delivery trucks. The sound stages were busy. There were people building things. There were stage hands. We went into the ink and paint department. I met a couple of editors that were working on projects. They had done work like on Air Bud and things, and they were busy working, but they were kind enough to tell me a few stories, and I got to see the offices and walk through. They had their computers where they were working on animation, and all in their office were like Funko Pops and plushies and, you know, collectibles, things that they liked, and their offices were so cool. And then we went to the basement area where they had like, when it rained, very seldom, when there was bad weather, they would have this sort of tunnel system where they could transport animations and I think it's celluloid, where they had painted onto the actual paper that they used for film, that they didn't want to get damaged through like heat or weather or rain or moisture in the air, and they transported these things on carts. And where else did we go? We went everywhere. I went by Walt's office. I did not go in. You have to put your name in for a drawing, and only a few people's name gets pulled, or you win a visit to see his office. But I did get to stand outside and see his corner, the window of his office. We went to the wardrobe department. I saw the water tower, just any and everything that you could think of. And then we finally made it to the partner statue. And by that time, I was so on overload and overwhelmed that I felt like I was in a dream. It was it was surreal. And so I got to go up close and see Walt and see Mickey and have my picture taken, and then go over to Roy and Minnie's statue, and then see the building. You know, that building is being held up by the dwarves. I'm trying not to get emotional. So I'm trying not to get emotional, but that building, the corporate building, is held up by the seven dwarves. And it's because it's on that film, Snow White, that all of Walt Disney Company rests on. And it is the film that is holding the company. And I just was like, in the moment, you know, like looking at this and feeling grateful and present, but just realizing the magnitude of this studio and its effect on art and culture and really history, because everyone knows Mickey Mouse. Everyone loves these films and the animation. And just to see it, I felt like I just wanted to take a moment and breathe and be grateful for everything and the fact that I was there, and I truly appreciated it. And so we left there, the Legends Plaza, and then as we were making our way back, there were other buildings that I was able to see, the cutting and editing. Gosh, just so much to talk about, really. And then we ended our tour, self-guided, leisurely tour. We ended at the Employee Center. And at the Employee Center is like, you can buy things that you need, just basic generic stuff like tote bags and mouse pads. There were postcards, just different things that had the studio design on it. And then you could go into the actual Disney store. So the employees have their own Disney store. Looks just like a typical Disney store. And they had everything that you would find, and so that they could buy things for their family, friends, themselves. And Lewis said if I needed to buy anything, I could use his discount. But it was just so nice that they did that for their employees, that they could just, oh, you know, I'm going home from work today. I need to stop off at the Disney store and pick something up. And there it was. Everything you can find: mugs, t-shirts, hoodies, plushies, costumes, the latest collectible dolls, the latest lightsaber, all the things that you would find at Disneyland, at Downtown Disney, and at the old school Disney stores. So it was such an amazing experience. I loved it so much. I felt so honored and privileged to be able to have that opportunity. And I am so grateful to Lewis and Robert for, you know, allowing me, inviting me, hosting me at the Disney studio. And everyone was so nice there. And I couldn't imagine a more wonderful experience. And the fact that I wanted to go for 15 to 20 minutes, and I looked at the clock before I left. In the Employee Center, there's a big clock, and then there are two little clocks in the shape of a Mickey, and it has the different time zones. But it was 3:30. And I arrived at the lot at 10 to 12, because our appointment was at noon. And I thought I was going to get 15 to 20 minutes, 20 minutes tops. And I spent 3.5 hours at the studio. And I'm forever grateful. I wish everyone could do it. I know that there are a few that have this lucky opportunity. I just thank God for it, and I will cherish those memories. I have been, and he actually invited me to go back, so that was sweet. But I just think that this experience was a once in a lifetime, and I just love it. So here are some highlights of that tour. In all honesty, I really wanted to record everything and photograph everything, but there were some areas that I was not able to. And then in the other areas, I was so in awe and just looking around that I got quick video and a lot of pictures. And so what I came away with was a lot of photos, a little bit of video, and a ton of amazing memories. So I'm going to leave this slideshow with you, and I also have a long playing video of all of the photos that I took. So that is coming up on the channel as well. So guys, I just wanted to share that with you. Beautiful day, beautiful experience. I'm so grateful. And here's the slideshow.